Here's my solution to a user who wanted to extend an existing DATEDIF formula down an entire column. So their actual request was, I'm making a database of about 120 people. In a column I have their birthdays, but instead of writing the whole DATEDIF formula in every field, can it be done as an automatic action when I make a new line? Yes, absolutely. Here's how I tackle this. So here in my spreadsheet, I've kind of recreated their setup. I have a list of names. I went with 100 names. And then I have a list of birth dates. And here I have the existing formula they provided. DATEDIF with the start date, today as the end date, and we're providing years. So what we're really showing is how many years have elapsed from this year to today, right? Now, the simplest way, if your data is static, is to just double click on this blue circle here. Ding, that'll fill out the entire column and bring, you can see it changing here, bring the formula down, iterate it down. Now, this does not account for new values. For new values, we're actually going to change the DATEDIF formula to be inside of a map function. So I'm going to come here and change this to map. My array is going to be B2 through B. Then I'm going to use the lambda function to create an anonymous function that it applies over every cell in that array B2 through B. I'm going to call this birth date. And now here in the B2, I'm going to replace that with birth date. Perfect. And literally just like that, it applies down the entire column. So what this says is, on every cell in column B2 through B, let's call that birth date. Then perform this function on the current birth date and return that. Now if I come down to the bottom, I'm going to see that it is applying all the way down. And so one thing we can do to avoid that is put an if statement in here. So if length birth date, then do all this. Otherwise, output blank. Now if I scroll back down to the bottom, where there is no birth date, it will not perform the formula. So pretty straightforward when you have an existing formula to just wrap that in lambda map and then change all of the variables to the arrays here. Now their follow-up was that they want to be able to sort this. So if I come here, do the filter tool, and now let's sort this by name. Oh, what happened? Well, the formula sorted to stay with the existing name. So if I undo that, it's with Tory Porter. If I redo that, it's still with Tory Porter, but sorted all the way down here. Here's the formula here. So to avoid that, we can actually pull this formula into the header. I'm going to cut the formula out. Then here, I'm going to put the formula, but I'm going to add something at the top. That's going to be vstack, which puts ranges on top of each other. Range 1 is going to be the word years, the header we just got rid of. Range 2 is going to be the map formula. Now we see the exact same output, but there's no formula here in C2. The formula is in C1. So now if I sort by name, it works properly because the formula is above any of the sorted data. So that's one of my favorite tricks, is that you can actually pull these lambda formulas up into the header using vstack to provide the header values.